This story I'm about to tell you, I didn't think I was going to survive this. And it's also a lot more common than you lot think. But you could be someone who has the same experience. This all started when I was on the harrowing loop in Vietnam, enjoying my best life, you know, living in these crazy mountains and these crazy views with a bunch of guys who I met, and it was a great experience. If you want to see that video, it's on my channel as well. And previously I'd met a couple named Mika and Stavi, and they're also two YouTubers as well. If you want to look at their channel, if you speak Spanish, it's great. But they mentioned to me they wanted to go to Cambodia to teach kids how to speak English. And this had been a dream of mine actually for years. And luckily these two had said, we're going to Cambodia, you should come. We'll let you know if there's space. And I said, that would be amazing. So I'm on the harrowing loop and I get this message from Stavi.
Hey Harvey, and yeah, they will need you, they need you a lot. Like, volunteer just left the school, he will leave today or tomorrow I think, so they definitely need someone. And yeah, the school is very nice, so the students are like from 6 to 18, but it's not like a school, it's like a English school, so the kids, they go to school during the day, and then they come like maybe 1 hour per day or a few hours per week in the English school, you know.
So that was it. I was like, I'm going to finish the harrowing loop, I'm going to get on a bus back to Hanoi, and I booked the first flight to Phnom Penh. And I was loving it out there. It was in a nice rural area of Cambodia, no tourists, just me, Stavi, Mika and a few others. And it was so different to the rest of the trip where there was tourists everywhere and people off bartering with you, and it was brilliant. I enjoyed teaching the kids English. After school we'd play football on the field, and it was an amazing experience for me. But sadly that all changed about 3 weeks in when I woke up one morning and I couldn't stand up. I'd stood up and it felt like my bones were going to snap. My brain felt like it was on fire. I had the biggest migraine. I went downstairs to speak to Chiva, the guy who runs the school, and I said, I don't know what's going on with me. I just feel like shit, basically. He said, yeah, you look really pale. I'll teach this lesson, you go upstairs, let me know how you feel later. I had breakfast, went to the shower, and I just threw it all up. Then I thought, fucking hell, I need to get some rest. There's clearly something wrong with me. Let me get that sorted out by just having a nap, and hopefully I'll feel better in the morning, or when I wake up, sorry. No, that went on for about 4 days where I was not eating, massive migraine, throwing up, couldn't stand up. And at the time I was sleeping on the floor, there was rats running about, there was construction outside, it was boiling. So I was sweating like crazy, I got spots all over my face, my ears were swelling up, my eyes were swelling up, my gums were bleeding. It was not the best of experiences. Luckily I had Mika and Stavi there to, you know, they kept giving me water, they would fill my water bottle up for me, and I just couldn't get up, and it was really scary, but they really helped me out, so I always love them for that. So this went on for a few days like I mentioned, and I thought on the 4th day, I thought, I'm not feeling better, maybe I should go to the hospital. So Chiva, the guy who runs the school, said to me, I'll take you on the back of my bike, I'll take you to the hospital. And I remember sitting on the bike and I had no strength in my arms when we were holding on, and I honestly felt like I was going to fall off. When we'd hit like a little bump, I thought, I need to make sure I stay on this bike because I felt so weak. I remember sitting in the waiting room and feeling like I was going to pass out every 2 seconds. And Chiva was saying, he was trying to talk to me about football, and I was just like, I just couldn't keep focus. But he was trying to keep me awake and hopefully get that in the hospital room. And once I was in there, they ran a few blood tests on me. I did an ultrasound scan for some reason as well. And then I got diagnosed with something called chikungunya, which is an African and Asian disease which comes from, transmitted by mosquito bites, or mosquitoes, and quite similar to dengue. That's when I was like, oh shit, this is quite, sorry, I got something in my eye. This is quite serious. The doctor gave me about 7 pills to take. You know, I was like, oh fucking hell, this is, right, 7 pills is, I've never had to take 7 pills a day, but he was like, you need to eat because you've lost a lot of weight, your body has nothing to really grab onto, and luckily you came into the hospital because this is a very serious illness. In that moment I thought, alright, I can't continue sleeping on the floor in the hot weather with the rats running about and mosquitoes everywhere, the construction going on. and I said to Chiva, I'm gonna have to go. And I was really upset because I didn't get to say goodbye to the students I was teaching. Luckily, I budgeted aside some money to spend on a hotel in case of emergencies. So now I had air conditioning, a nice bed, my own private bathroom, my own space, and I could order room service and just eat food, build up some strength. But that 3 nights in that hotel was one of the most challenging moments of my trip. Because a lot of people forget that when you're physically ill, it doesn't just affect your body, but it affected my mind so much. I was having auditory hallucinations. I remember just feeling just as depressed as I was before traveling, a few years ago when I was suffering quite a bit with depression. And it took me back there, and I hated that. And that's when it really, really had an impact on me. Like I mentioned, I had auditory hallucinations. I was hearing people screaming at me, and I was so ill, I couldn't walk up and down the stairs. I remember, luckily I had Emily on the phone with me, telling me, you're gonna be okay. But my brain was really thinking, holy fuck, this is it. Which sounds so dramatic now that I'm sat at my desk in my room back in London. It did I remember saying that, and that's how I remember this whole experience, was just what I was telling myself, am I gonna die? And the only place I wanted to be at that time was not in Asia anymore, which is really sad, because it was such a privilege to go out to these countries and experience what I got to experience. But you get the negative part of what happened, it really does affect you. So I remember waking up one morning, looking in the mirror, swollen eyes, bloodshot as hell, gums bleeding, I looked half the size I was before, so skinny, and I just thought I look so vulnerable. And that's kind of a big thing I think about when I'm traveling, is make sure you don't look vulnerable. Make sure that people look at you as if, I don't want to rob him, because I've been a victim of being robbing before, and I know what they see in you. And I looked like someone who would look quite vulnerable in those situations. It scared me. I became a lot less confident than I was before. And then I slipped my attention from YouTube quite a bit. As you saw, I was in Thailand for about a month, and I only made 4 videos, compared to when I was in Vietnam for a month. I made loads of videos, because my focus wasn't on YouTube anymore, unfortunately. It was on, I need to get healthy. So I made the decision to go back to New Jersey before Christmas. So when I went back and I was with Emily, and I thought, all right, I need to get back to how I was, at least, or if not bigger, because I have my wedding coming up. I didn't want to look as skinny as I was and unhealthy and everything that I had going on my wedding day. So I went back to Jersey, we went to the gym, I had my mother-in-law feeding me every day because she's an amazing cook, and I was getting fatter, and and that's what I needed, and I'm so grateful for that. And obviously it's a big step from going from one of the most beautiful countries in the world, Thailand, to a very contrasting New Jersey. But it just shows that it's not always what you're surrounded by, but who. Thanks for watching this video. Go watch the other videos because they're good, like this one. Cheers.